Hello everyone, hope you all have had a fantastic day today. We're going to take a look at 10 digital note-taking methods and 3 future methods. If you're ready, let's get started. Alright, the first 3 that I've added here are just for the sake of adding them because digital note-taking methods are just some methods for the paperless movement. So I've added them to consider them. Let's take a look at them. The first one is just basically some papers that you can write on them and you can wipe them, but you should use a special pen for them. I don't recommend them. I don't know their exact name. I've just seen them once or twice on the net, but yeah, there's something like that if you're interested, but I do not recommend them. Okay, the next method is notepads without memory. They are essentially just like tablets, and they are low price, but they have no memory. They are just good for drafting, but as we all know, you can do drafting with other kind of devices, so I do not recommend this one too. Let's take a look at the next one. Next one is notepad with memory but no UI. You should use the dedicated UI for them. Their price is low, quite low. They start from 35 to 200. The name of the brand is Remarkable too. They are not good for general audience, but some people may find it useful. There's a good and full detailed video about this from Bradley Cowboy. You can find it from here and check it out. Yeah, but the next one, drawing tablet or drawing pad by using it with the Mac or Windows PCs. I really like this one because it's quite a new method. The price is not quite high, not quite low. It starts from 30 to 400. There are 2 brands that I recommend to you. One is Wacom and the other one is XP Pendeco. The one that I have is XP Pendeco 3. I got it for $110. It's like here. You have a pen. There are about 10 extra tips in here. It's wireless and you can use it by the USB Type-C cable. The app that I recommend for using it, if you're using a Windows device, you can use these apps. The one that we are currently with is in OneNote Office. You can use OneNote Office Windows 10, Microsoft Word, Zodo, Notion, Inkto, PDF Annotator, and Foxit. Foxit is really good for PDF editing. PDF Annotator, I don't really like it. Essentially, it's just a note-taking app, but you can also use Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is basically good. Most of people use it for typed notes, but you can use it for handwritten notes. Zodo is really good for reading because it has dark mode. It changes for example, it changes this picture into dark mode. It's really good for reading in dark mode. Okay, let's look at the pros and cons of using a drawing tablet. It's a relatively low price and compatible with Mac and Windows. Sometimes it's compatible with, some of them are compatible with Android devices. You don't need to upgrade them after a few years, just like other devices. If you upgrade your laptop, you just get a bigger screen, or you can use an extra monitor if you want more space to write. There are relatively cheap pen tips. We should consider also this one. The tips are not that cheap for other devices, but you should consider that one too. It's a pleasant feeling while you're writing on it, but not that pleasant when you're writing with pen and paper. But we should, as compared to the other devices with the glass screen, this one is way much more better. As you're writing your notes, you can quickly switch into typing, and not all the devices that can be done like this. And actually it's one of the reasons that I've got it, because I could easily attach my laptop to another extra monitor and watch other online classes with it, do my typing, note taking with it, and draw the figure and formula with it really fast. Okay, the cons. You cannot have the same experience of note taking with a tablet or pen and paper, obviously, because you're using this device with your laptop, and they're bulky, they're big. You can just keep it in your hand and move around with it. You should always sit somewhere. It's a stationary device, and it feels a bit odd when you start writing with it, because I used to hold the pen and paper under my hand in a 45 degree, but if you hold it in a 45 degree and write with it, you might write like this instead of writing horizontally. And yeah, it takes a bit to get used to it, but yeah, you will get used to it. It feels a bit irritating that you cannot move the page with your finger, but there's a solution to it. As you may already know, I recommended you two companies. I've heard that the software from the Wacom, there's a dedicated button that can act your tip of the pen as a hand, and you can use it. But the one that I got has a ring, and you can move the page with it, or you can zoom in and zoom out, but zooming and zooming out doesn't work all the time. But yeah, you can do it. But there's another solution for it. If your app can use hotkeys for it, for example, in Office, I can use a hotkey here for the last section. As you can see, I've selected the hand, and I can use the pen, and I can select a dedicated hotkey for it, and can change it and use it. Obviously, you should hotkey it with your pen because you want to do it really fast. And if you hotkey it with your pen, you should not hotkey it. If your pen has only one key, you should keep that one key for the eraser and not for this one. If it has two keys, yes, you can make one of them to change your tip to the finger, or you can just simply use Alt number 1 and Alt number 2, or in Mac you should use command mode. I believe we use command for the Mac. Okay, it can be easily or accidentally be damaged. The surface is so delicate, you should take a good care of it. Actually, I damaged it in the first week that I got it, but yeah, it's like this. Your precision of drawing figures and diagrams with it is not that high, even though it's used for drawing. But when you're taking note, it's a bit tricky to write with it. At least it is for me right now, but I believe I can get used to it after a few months. I only had it for 2 months, and I might get used to it. If you are watching an online class, as I mentioned before, just using one device, one laptop, and watching that online class and taking notes with it at the same time can be a bit tricky, because it's just essentially holding all the pages and you can't see it at the same time. You can use other solutions. There are some extra monitors that can be attached to your laptop if you want some portable monitors, but they weight really high and they double your power consumption. We don't worry about this because we're not gonna carry it in our classroom. We just use it when we are at home or when we are at our door. So yeah, we are always attached to the power. So as the conclusion, if you plan to do something like that, remember that you should get a laptop with 2 to 3 aspect ratio. Mine is 1920 by times 1080. It's almost 1/2. It's not a suitable note-taking and PDF reading aspect ratio. I don't really enjoy it. And mind that you can even hold it horizontally. Yeah, it's one of the negative side of it. It will feel odd, but you will get used to it. check the software of your targeted brand. They might be support this feature that I've explained, that finger mode and pen mode, and note that other tablets and especially Surface and iPad, they none of them have this feature that they can have a dedicated button to act the pen as a finger, and that's a bit irritating. You probably can't use it during the class. I've never used it during a real-time class. I've used it during the recorded classes or online classes. It's so different. You might not find enough space for it to have your laptop and your drawing tablet aside of you. And one more thing, the one that I got here, I feel it's quite big. If you want to get something, if that's a bit cheaper and smaller, don't worry, you don't need this much of a space. You can always get something else with a smaller size. Yeah, but the extra buttons are handy. It's a bit cool. Alright, if you didn't like this one, don't worry, we have other options. Android tablets. So Android tablets are, obviously you should go for the Samsung. Samsung has two series tablet. There are some light version and the S series version, the flagship. The light version are so cheap, so good. Some of them are without desk ability, but the good part is that they are with pen. They can be used as a Surface Windows tablet with this app. Essentially your tablet become just like a Surface, yeah, by just connecting it to your PC. Pros: low price. You can replace your phone with it, obviously. Since I got my tablet, I just replaced it with my phone, but yeah, you can do it. The hardware is good, but the software is not that good. It's not optimized. Most of the apps are not optimized for it. We don't have a lot of app option for note taking. Especially the OneNote of Android version is so bad in tablets. OneNote has so many versions, and the Android version is the worst version with the least feature of it. Just mind that. They might fix it, they might not, but it's currently like this. And note that to have the best experience with all the glass tablets, you should get a matte screen protector for them. Yeah, that's another one of cons that you should, that's an extra thing that you should buy for them. Next one is Surface. Surface processors are around 700 to 1100, and Surface Go, I usually do not recommend it. Most people do not recommend this because it's not a powerful device. But if you just want to do note taking with it with just one note and watch some YouTube videos, it might be okay. Pros: it is Windows UI, a static and robust build quality, and amazing keyboards. But the con is that you should buy the keyboard, buy the pen. The pen cannot be charged, and the X series, which the better version of the Surface series, there is no dedicated UI for them yet. They are still developing the Windows X. And the other one is that because it is using Windows and Intel processors, they get hot really fast compared to ARM based devices. That's why I said the Surface X is still in trial mode, because it is an ARM based device and it has a better thermal management in it. You should obviously get a matte screen protector. I've heard that some people use paper-like screen protector of iPad on this device. I haven't tried it, but you can try it, and if you did, just let me know. Yeah, remember that using matte screen protectors, it the tip of the pen way faster, especially if you get a cheap tip, not one of the original tip. Just bear that in mind. Right? Okay, next one. 2-in-1 pieces. There are two models. One is in trial mode, foldable PCs. They are highly expensive. There is no dedicated hardware or software for them. We cannot rely on them, but they have a bright future. Regular 2-in-1 PCs, they are around 600 to 1200. I recommend you the HP and ThinkPad 2-in-1 laptops. They are really good. I've heard good stuff from them. Pros, they can be your laptop and your note-taking device. But remember, if you're in an online class, as I said before, it's a bit tricky to have the half of the screen writing under your hand and the other half online class. So not a heavy device as a laptop sometimes, but a bit heavy as a tablet device. And it's so hard to hold them in one hand and take notes. Sometimes I do this with, if you have a light tablet, a small tablet, you can do it, but if you have a 2-in-1, it's a bit harder to do it like that. And obviously without matte screen protector, it's not that pleasant writing with it. iPad, we all know iPad Pros. It has amazing economy, perfect integration with your Apple device, amazing UI, gorgeous design, blah blah, yeah. But cons, it's super expensive. Must get pen, keyboard, screen protector. Must pay for its updates. Must pay for most of its apps. Your other devices must be Apple to get the full experience of it. But the apps that I mentioned are really good. For the Windows, the apps that I mentioned up here, they are really good, and most of them are free. Expect this one. iPad. Conclusion: if you have 2K extra, go for the Pro model. If you have 1K extra, just go for the budget model. It's really good. There are so many good apps, but it's super expensive. That's the only thing that holding you back, and you should have other Apple devices to get the full experience of it. Yeah, if you're in Apple economy, you can do it, but no, note that you can't do what I've said with the drawing tablet. Switching between writing and typing, it's not that pleasant with iPad. And the next option is iPhone. It's still not a practical method, but in the future they might release Apple Pen for it. I do not recommend it. Pros, obviously, gorgeous design with a beautiful notch, 5G. And the cons, don't buy them. It's a small screen and you cannot manage everything on it. Next one, Android devices. The Samsung released the newest phone with the support of the pen. It's not good. This screen is small. It's essentially a useless thing, but you can use its Dex Mode. Alright, the Dex Mode is should be tried. Someone should try the Dex Mode and see if it's practical and if it can be used as a drawing tablet or something like that. For example, attaching your phone to a TV and have the OneNote open in both of them, and do your typing on a desktop and do your writing on a phone. But we should know, I haven't tried this one, but if it allows us to do it, it should allow us to have the app open on both UIs at the same time. And yeah, we should see it. Even if it works, we should note that the OneNote on Android has a super limited functionalities. It's essentially not that good. The app economy is not that good. Alright, we are getting into the 3 new methods for the future. First one, which I predicted about the 10 to 20 years in the future, is using AR technology. It can replace your TV, laptop, iPad. Essentially, you're having those glasses in the next year, and in the next 20 years they just basically get smaller and more efficient, to the point that you can have them on your eyes when you're out. You can do your virtual note taking with a pen, and you just get a pen and somewhere to write on it, or even just a pen, and you can write on space or on wall or on your desk, even your wooden desk or plastic desk. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. That's definitely gonna be the future of note taking. I'm so excited for this one. The next one, for the next 20 to 30 years, you can do it all, but with the brain machine interface devices. There are currently scientists are working on it for the medical application, or those AR headsets can be implanted into your eyes, or can be as small as your glasses. Implanted into your eyes, it takes a bit longer. We still have a lot to learn about it, but it's possible. Or we get something like Iron Man suit. Yeah. The next one, which is the far next future for the 50 to 200 years, it's believed that you can download information into your brain, but currently, with the current understanding of the brain, it's proven to be impossible because of the neuroplasticity. Actually, there is a podcast on it, about it. It's on the channel to the neuroscience section, BMI neuroscience section on this channel. You can check it out, and a scientist will explain to you why it is proven to be almost impossible with the current understanding of it. So the barriers to this technology, what are they? We know so little about the brain. You can study neuroscience to expand this field and contribute to this field. Our devices, our implant devices, are not good enough. They are not small enough. Currently, they damage the brain as they are getting implanted. They can't stay in it for a very long time. And our electronic devices cannot deal with the noise. For example, if we want to take note without even moving our hand, and we just thinking that we are writing something. The problem with that is that our devices cannot detect the sensory signals from our brain for that if we just think about it. But if we try to move our hand, that's when we can detect the signals, right? So yeah, we might find some alternative ways for it, but currently the noise is a lot and the signal cannot be stimulated to be detected. Our chipsets, this is my favorite part, need more precision, more noise tolerant, less power consumption, less heat production, more power harvesting, and better batteries, and packaging need better durability in the condition like the body. So current researches are just for people who has brain diseases, if I want to put it in simple terms. Yeah, but in the near future, scientists are working on it so hard to hook us with the electronic devices. Here's a nitpick for you. Essentially what I'm talking about is like this, and currently the Neuralink company is working on it, but it takes a long time. This is what we do on this channel. If you're interested by any reason that you want to have a good peek on these type of topics, I invite you to watch some of the future contents on this channel. With that being said, have an amazing day and see you soon.